I heard her laugh before I heard the words, sharp, brittle, and cruel, ricocheting off the hallway walls like broken glass. I froze outside the slightly open door, my hand still on the light switch, my breath held just long enough to hurt. Then her voice sliced through the silence. God, he's so pathetic. He doesn't even notice anything. I swear, sometimes I think he was born to be walked over. Then another laugh, this one deeper, male, familiar in a way that made the back of my neck prickle. Paige, my wife, laughing about me, with someone else. For a moment I told myself I misheard, or misunderstood, or maybe it was some twisted joke taken out of context. People vent, people exaggerate, but her tone wasn't frustration. It was amusement, mockery, contempt. I felt something inside me tilt, like the floor had loosened beneath my feet. I should have barged in. I should have demanded answers. But instead I stepped back, slow, quiet, like a man retreating from the edge of a cliff he didn't realize he'd been standing on. The conversation behind the door murmured on, voices too low now to decipher. I could only hear their occasional chuckles, and those hurt more than the words themselves. I didn't sleep that night. Paige slipped into bed past midnight smelling faintly of wine and something expensive and floral. When I turned toward her, pretending I had just woken, she smiled. Couldn't sleep, she whispered. Yeah, I said. Long day. She kissed my cheek like nothing in the world was wrong. Morning came cold and gray. The sky hung low and heavy like it knew something I didn't. Paige hummed as she got ready, light, pleasant, the same hum I'd always found comforting, but now it sounded like a performance. At breakfast she tapped something into her phone, screen angled away from me. She never used to hide the screen. Plans today? I asked. Just errands, she said too quickly. Groceries, dry cleaning, maybe stop by the boutique. Her eyes didn't meet mine. Another red flag in a growing field of them. I wanted to ask her who she was mocking last night, who she had been with, why she said those things about me. But each question felt like pushing my hand into fire. I wasn't ready to burn yet. Instead, I nodded and watched her leave, the scent of her perfume lingering long after the front door closed. I went upstairs to the office, the room where I'd overheard everything. I stood in front of that door, staring at the wood grain like it held answers. The room was spotless. Her neatness used to make me proud. Now it felt staged. I scanned the desk. Nothing seemed out of place. And then I saw it, barely noticeable. A second coffee cup in the trash bin beneath the table. She didn't drink that brand. My pulse hammered. Thoughts crashed together. I reached for the cup, fingers trembling, but the sound of my phone buzzing in my pocket jolted me. A message. From Aaron. My best friend. Hey man, just checking in. Everything good? Thought I'd apologize for last night. Didn't mean to hit a nerve. My stomach dropped so suddenly I had to sit down. Last night. Nerve. Apologize. I stared at the phone until the words blurred. He was the voice I'd heard. He had been in my house. With my wife. Mocking me. My hand shook as I typed back. What nerve? His reply came faster than I expected. Too fast. Panicked fast. I just meant, look, Paige said she talked to you. If she didn't, then just forget it. Seriously. We were drinking, said stupid stuff. Hope we're good. There it was. Confirmation wrapped in clumsy half-truths. My chest tightened, breath shallow and uneven. Betrayal wasn't a stab. It was erosion, slow and grinding, eating through layers you never thought could crumble. I didn't reply. I sat there until my legs felt numb, until the house felt too small, too quiet, too dishonest. By noon the storm that had been building inside me turned into resolve. If they were going to make a fool out of me behind closed doors, then the doors were coming off their hinges. Literally. I took the office door off with a screwdriver, my hand surprisingly steady, propped it against the wall and left the room wide open. A small symbolic retaliation. A hint. A warning. I wasn't the blind wooden puppet they thought I was. Then I went downstairs, pulled out my laptop, and opened the shared family drive. Paige always forgot to log out of shared folders. She assumed I'd never look. She assumed I never had reason to. I clicked through photos, receipts, notes, voice memos. She'd named one folder Class Materials, a safe enough title that I'd never thought twice. Inside were recordings. My throat tightened. Not of cheating. Of conversations. About me. Her voice was icy, methodical, tearing down pieces of my personality, like she was evaluating a product return. And in one recording, Aaron's laugh echoed through the speakers. Does he even suspect? No. He's clueless, she'd said. Sometimes I feel guilty. Sometimes. Well, not guilty enough. The words hit harder than any affair ever could have. She wasn't cheating with her body. She was cheating with her loyalty. She was dismantling me for entertainment. I listened to them discuss my habits, insecurities, dreams, mocking, twisting, belittling them. Things I'd shared with Paige in my most vulnerable moments. Things I never told anyone else. And then the final blow. I wish he'd just grow a backbone. Maybe then I wouldn't get bored. My vision blurred. A roar filled my ears, anger, heartbreak, humiliation merging into one unbearable pressure. Some betrayals are not physical. Some cut deeper. When Paige came home that evening, humming again, I was sitting in the living room with the laptop open beside me. The door she used for her mockery propped beside the couch like a silent witness. She froze when she saw it. When our eyes met, something shifted in hers. Fear, guilt, calculation. She wasn't innocent, but she was smart enough to know the room had changed. What happened to the door? She asked softly. I heard everything, I said. Her complexion drained. Everything. All of it. She sank into the nearest chair, breath shaky. She looked smaller than I'd ever seen her. Fragile, frightened, suddenly aware there were consequences to cruelty. I didn't mean. You meant every word. Please, she whispered. People vent. We were drunk. It got out of hand. You recorded it, I said. That wasn't venting. That was entertainment. Her face crumpled. Tears filled her eyes. Please don't do anything rash, she begged. But the truth was already spreading. I had already shared the audio to the wrong group chat by accident. One that included her siblings, her aunt, her colleagues, and Aaron's wife. By morning, everyone knew what kind of woman she really was. And for the first time in years, I felt no shame. No guilt. No doubt. Just clarity, cold, sharp, and freeing. Some doors stay closed for a reason. But when you hear what's behind them, you never close them again.